What's up, everybody? It's Chad from S1E17 Grassy Logic. I'm here today with my friend Kash. He's from Dr. Green Organics, and today they're my guest. And so we're going to be talking about them and some other topics too as well on top of that. So without further ado, thank you for joining me today, Kash.
Thank you for having us. We're excited to be here.
Yeah, me too. I'm excited to have you guys here. And if you guys don't notice, we have this fancy little display right here that he brought by to show some really cool product off. I can't wait to talk about this. You could showcase some product. No one's really done this before, so this is cool. I really like to see this in the studio. Something like this because I've tried to promote people to bring some product, but not everybody does. So it's really cool for people to get a firsthand look at exactly what they're getting themselves into. So anyway, why don't you tell everybody that's listening a little bit about yourself?
All right. Well, if you guys don't know me, I'm Kash Calvin. Everybody calls me Kash for short. Here since 5th grade. I went to in Mexico State, graduated with a computer science degree. So
a computer nerd too, nice.
Yeah. But I still went this route. I wanted to own my own business, but I decided between that and computer science, and decided to go marijuana. And I've known Justin from Dr. Green Hydroponics for a long time. I actually bought my nutrition one the first time, and he taught me a lot of what I should try to do for growing. I don't have a green thumb, so I let it go. But he approached me for this, and I'm just happy to be here.
Nice, man. Well, I'm glad you guys are here. And where you guys are located is very interesting too. It's an underserved area of town.
Yes.
And we'll get more into that. So you said you didn't know much about the hydroponic side. If you guys don't know, listening, Dr. Green Hydroponics is pretty much the only hydroponic store here in Las Cruces. When I first moved to Cruces, if you guys don't know, I'm from Water originally. When I first moved to Cruces in 2015, there was 2 hydroponic stores. I think one was called Southwest Hydroponics or something like that. And then you had the Dr. Green, which is actually right down the street from each other. Dr. Green ended up moving down a little bit further from where they are, and they're currently just near Valley, just before Valley. Here in town, they're just off the road, and they've been there ever since. Actually, it's been about quite a few years, about 6-7 years, I think. Now they've been in that spot. So I go there quite religiously, to pick up grow supplies and stuff like that. Nutrients, soil, hydroponic stuff. Pumps. Air pumps. Sometimes something goes out and you got to go get it real quick. Like last year when I was working in the grow. We had to get some, tags to, see what plant is what. So
yeah.
I got to you guys just in time, and, luckily, you guys weren't going to close down, because I got there like at 59, like a minute before. So I was in and out within 2 minutes. So, I was really grateful for that. So you guys have saved my butt a couple times, on that side. So if you guys are in Las Cruces, if you don't know where to get something, nutrients, whatever, even seeds, they have seeds there.
Yeah.
You can get seeds, get yourself started pretty much all in one place. So yeah. That's a little bit history, of the Dr. Green. I don't know the full background and everything. Maybe one day, we'll get that history. I don't know. We'll see. But first, we're going to be talking about Dr. Green Organics. Same people, different name. So first off, congratulations on the retail first opening.
Thank you.
How hard of a process was it doing that?
Oh, I mean, it was tough. I mean, we've been trying to open up for 1.5 years now. We've had our grow license for 1.5 years, almost 2 years now. We've been growing. But to get the retail open, we had to go through the commercial licensing and commercial permits and the inspectors. And, it became a process that we didn't realize would take so long. We'd always think it was 3 months. Then we had to switch from one contractor to another contractor. And but eventually we got there this year, and, it's onward and upward. We're trying to move forward and get people to hear our name and finally help everybody out in the community.
Nice, dude. Yeah, and especially in that area. So where is your guys' location at here in town?
Yeah, so we're actually in Mesilla Park.
Okay.
5555 Mesilla Park, 88047, but it's South Main Street.
Yeah.
Mesilla,
yeah, nice. Yeah, so you guys are technically on Main.
Still Main, Main, yeah.
And if you guys don't know, it's kind of headed out towards town. There's a lot of farms and stuff in that area. So, I guess is your customer base so far a lot of farmers and kind of farmers' kids?
We're getting a lot of the local area, a lot of farmers, a lot of workers. They usually show up like after 3 or 4. We're trying to work on our hours actually because we started at 7:30 a.m. to 7:30 p.m.
Okay.
But morning shift is kind of dead. Like everyone's trying to get to work. So it's a thing there.
Yeah, you need something on the way just to hand them, driving by. Here you go.
It's like, if we can get the drive-through, I'm sure we'll pick up in the mornings. But at the moment, we're looking to probably switch from 9 to 9 so that way we can get the evening crew and work that route.
And a lot of people tell me, from the retail places that they normally start getting busy around 7 p.m. It's like kind of like peak hour for them. It's like we just start ramping up around that time. A lot of places are closing at 7:30 or 8. So people are coming in. So That's good that, that's great that you guys are, paying attention to, the environment, and
Customer base.
yeah, exactly. And changing and adapting. I call it a Semper Gumby. It's always flexible.
That is what we're gonna have to be. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's how this industry is. You have to be flexible. You always do. It's always changing. It's an ever morphing kind of thing that's happening. In New Mexico, we're still in an unstable market. That bubble is still going, but we're going to talk about the bubble here in a little bit. So you guys just had a grand opening, right?
Yes.
Yeah. How'd that go?
It went great.
Yeah.
I mean, we had 19th to the 20th of May, our grand opening, and we had a dunk tank, and we had a DJ, and free popcorn and everything. We had a good turnout, quality turnout. All the friends and family came.
Nice.
A couple of new people in the area too, because they were locations. But yeah, it was a great turnout, and
nice.
We're looking forward to it. We had a lot of repeat customers. I mean, the pricing is for the customers. It's not really like any other dispensary in town. We're not doing anything like that. So
yeah, nice. Yeah. And it's great to see because I was actually there. I got to meet, that's the first time I met Kash. And so I got to, really go in and, experience the dispensary itself, really like it. From the outside, you don't really expect it to look the way it does on the inside. You're like, oh, okay, this is pretty cool. I saw the dunk booth and everything, but by the time I got there, kind of ramped down, vamped down a little bit, which is what I wanted. I wanted it to be just a little bit more chill, instead of catching you guys like, hey, how's it going? All right, talk to you later.
Yeah.
So, it was a really opportune time for me to, to go. And I was okay, I think this is good. And I did. I saw the $5 grams, and I was really surprised, of course, a lot of people were misunderstood what a $5 gram is. This $5 gram had 4%, terps on it. It wasn't high on THC, but as you guys know, I love terps, and if it's high on terps, I'm probably gonna get it.
Yes.
And the industry itself is kind of a little slow when it comes to that, so I'm kind of benefiting at the moment because the lower THC ones are kind of better.
Yeah, maybe people's opinions. I'll never judge the numbers, but
yeah. The numbers, the THC. If you're a THC guy, go with the THC. I'm more of a terpene flavor guy. So if it's 19%, 3 or 4%, terpene profile on it, all day. So that's really great to see. They did. You guys had what, I think $14 grams or $12 grams too, all the way up to. Yeah. So what is the pricing? I guess you guys have.
Yeah. So we have right now we have 19 strains total, but we're starting with the 8 just to give you guys a preview and to not attack the customers with so many options that they can't choose.
Yeah.
But the first 3 are $5 grams. It's Peach Rings, Blue Unicorn, which is the one he's talking about with the lower THC count. It's 19%, but the terpenes on it tastes like blueberries. It's just so
it was
sweet.
So good.
It's my favorite. But
I had a licorice profile almost with it.
Yeah.
It was a slight licorice profile for me.
Nice.
And I really enjoyed that. And I normally don't like licorice, but I'm like, this is actually good. And I think it was that berry flavor that you're talking about. I think that's what saved it. And for me anyway, I'm just not licorice. But I was like, this is really good. If it's very strong, I love it. It's something that you don't get every day.
Yeah, Blue Unicorn cross. Blue Dream cross with Unicorn Poop. That's how you get that one. I know names are weird, but yeah. And then we have Dosilato for 5, and then we go up from here to for the pre rolls is 12, and then 12, 12, 13, 14. I actually swapped 13, 14. Sorry, because I know that's Gary Payton, and Gary Payton is our highest percentage one. That's everyone's favorite.
Yeah, I actually tried that one too. Yeah, I tried that one as well.
Have the same flavor.
Let me scoot over. Let you get over here too. Do your thing.
Thank you. But yeah, we have quite a range, and the pre rolls are all nut round. We do it in the back. We actually have our manufacturing license too on site, so we get to do the pre rolls ourselves and make sure everything's fresh for you guys. But yeah, going all the way over, the first 3, the reason why they're $5 is our October harvest. It's all indoor, it's all quality, but after a couple of months being stored properly, no matter what you do, it's going to get a little bit darker unless you freeze it. And that has its own benefits and detractions. So we kind of try not to do that, just so we can keep the terpene count and the terpene flavor profile good quality.
Nice.
And after that, we have these ones are this year's harvest, and our sourdough, which I believe is this one right here, it's the best tasting one we have right now. That's for the newest quality. It doesn't really hit as hard as the Gary Payton, but it has that flavor profile and it has the looks and everything that everyone's wanting. It has all the marks like look, smell, and taste. So
nice.
Yeah. We have actually 2 more. Sorry, before I.
Oh no! I was like, I don't know if he's. I guess I don't like these ones.
No. We partnered with Lucky Cultivation. I'm really happy to have them on our team. Wyatt's a great guy. But yeah, we have 2 of his strains right here. I believe this one's our Runts, and then he has the Animal Mints, which he actually won Cannabis Cup for New Mexico Best Hybrid first place for this one. So, and you can get that, at a quality price at our store as well. Am I allowed to do pricing here? Yeah,
you can do whatever you want.
$50 a gram. Well, $50 for an 1/8, and that's after taxes. That's out the door. So all of our pricing actually includes taxes too. So when I say $5, I really mean you're paying $5 for it tax included. You can walk out the door with just a $5 bill to get you a pre-roll. And that goes for everything we have. We have chocolates too, and the chocolates are amazing. I'm gonna have to give you
go ahead
one
and
for those
showcase
ones.
them if you want. Yeah, have a good time with
So,
it. Yeah, have fun with it.
I'm gonna take a couple off for you guys to see. But
Let me
we
scoot back
have-
into frame a little bit
Yeah,
there.
thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, there you go.
So we have some truffles. I'll show you them like this. They are premium. The ganache is fire. We only use, thank you. We only use real chocolate. We can get our chocolate up to 8 pounds, like for a commercial buy. So we can't get like mass chocolate. That's as much we can buy per amount. And we have milk chocolate, white chocolate, and the one that's down here is actually our ganache. It's let me put it back up here for you guys. It's pink chocolate, but it's actually because the chocolate is unfermented before it's turned into a chocolate, so it doesn't turn brown, and it has more of a fruity flavor to it. So these ones are 20 milligrams for 4, well, 20 milligrams total, but you get 4, and then for the churro ones, which is these ones right here, you get 40 milligrams at 10 apiece. So if you're not big on feeling too much, you can do the 5 milligram, or if you want to feel a little bit more, you can do the 10 milligram a piece. But they are amazing. It's more for the flavor. The chocolate's out of this world. Then we have a horchata bar, 100 milligrams total, 5 per square. Also hits. And then we have what is it, maple pecan? You guys want to see that? Salted maple pecan and the dark Aztec chocolate. It has a hint of chili, so it's got a little heat to it. But it's if you're a vegan, you can have that one. It doesn't have anything but chocolate and chili. So
nice. And I just wanted to show this. I love this box right here. Packaging. One of the things I really always appreciate is customer experience, and that's something that people really take into account. If you look at Apple and all these other businesses that do things really well, they have that customer experience, and this is a part of customer experience.
Yes,
so
yes.
congratulations on this. A lot of people don't really take that into mind. I know Farmers does a really good job of customer experience when it comes to the boxing. So that's something they don't really see every day. So it's something I wanted to highlight that customer experience is something very important.
Yes, and that's kind of why we have this box too.
Yes.
Like whenever you go into the dispensary, you can actually take it and look at it with a magnifying glass. And we have a smell option, so you gotta shake it a little bit to get the flavor to come back out. But yeah, we have all the options for the customer to actually do everything but taste it. Like we want you to know what you're buying before you buy it. We're not trying to hide behind anything or give you one thing or the other. It's all up front, all right here. You can check it out, see what you want, read about it, and then make a decision.
Nice. Right, I appreciate it. I appreciate you showing all of this. You pretty much almost your whole inventory. I'm sure you guys have more stuff, but showing us a huge chunk of the inventory and everything, because I know you guys have some stuff in the works. I mean, can you share some secret squirrel information on some strains, some cultivars coming out?
I mean, we have a lot of different cultivars that we can throw out there right now. I mean, we have Fruity Pebbles in the back. We have, what is it? Gorilla Glue number 4, Gorilla Glue Tropicana. Oh man, the list goes on. Well, I can't even think of them all right now.
I kind of put you on the spot with that one. I know.
For sure. But yeah, like I said, we have 19 strains total right now, and we're always trying to figure out which one works best for us, which one grows the best. So we will be changing them in the future. But the way it goes right now, how I'm doing it is like if we can run out of inventory on these, then I'll go ahead and put in a new strain for everyone. So like as soon as we run through the $5 grams, I believe it's like $17 for an eighth and $34 for 7 grams, and that's just for these 3. I mean, there's nowhere in town doing that, and that's after taxes. I mean, if you give me $17, I'll give you an eighth.
Nice.
Straight up.
Yeah, that's great. No, that's something that you don't see in a market that's still not seen as stable. It's still so in its infancy years. So yeah, that's really good to see, especially in that pricing, because some places you go $30 still, $50 still for the
yeah.
And you're like, whoa, that's crazy, and that's still something that's not even top shelf.
Exactly.
You're like, oh, I don't want to know what that top shelf is. It's probably like an $80 eighth. That's a little ridiculous,
right? I mean, I'll never get to an $80 eighth, but these ones are 50. I
no,
mean,
that's pretty common.
They're amazing, yeah.
Yeah, but it's more of a quality thing, or the higher THC thing, especially in today's market, which things like I said are slowly going to change nationally, throughout time. And it's going to do that a few times. There's going to be different trends, just like in the alcohol market right now. Everybody's going towards a seltzer.
Yeah.
Yeah, the whole seltzer thing that they're doing. So, but getting back to you guys and everything. So, are you guys a vertically integrated?
Yes, vertically integrated. I'm actually just the retail manager and owner. Like I handled the retail side where the layout actually I designed myself.
Nice.
I had to put the walls up, and then when it comes to the display cases and everything, like that was all me.
Okay.
The growing is all Justin Savvy. He is our our producer.
Yeah,
and I'm
nice.
so happy to have him. And then we have Erica Paris. She's going to be our culinary artist, and she handles all the edibles for us. And
Nice.
she's a magician, and she's just a great cook
Yeah,
in general.
nice.
And then we have Mike Spritzer. He's going to be the one who's making our rosins and our hash and things like that. We actually have been making bubble hash. We finally got our manufacturer's 3 license, so we're doing the bubble hash now. We're going to press that to make it into some rosins. We have some live rosin that won't be $80 or $90. I'll try to keep it at a livable rate.
Yeah.
But it's going to be fire rosin.
Nice, yeah, and that's great to see. In New Mexico, we've actually gotten props for our hash, our hash game here in the state, because a lot of people sleep on us just because they don't really know we're here, and so they don't realize that we actually have some really good hash here because we're bored and we figure some things out. And there's a lot of people here that have connections with people from all over the world. And New Mexico is actually a very enchanting place. So some people will come here to just relax and release, and they'll meet people on the way and share their their craft or their information or whatever. And some of us will take onto it and really take it to seriousness to the point where it gets where it is now. So it's great to see that you guys are along in that train with it too. So
thank you.
Welcome to that.
One more thing I forgot to mention.
Okay,
Alyssa is also in our group. She's actually the businesswoman who handles the paperwork side of it.
Okay.
Like I, handle the pricing and everything, but she's the one who actually got us our permits and our licenses. She does all that. So it takes a crowd to make it into this kind of community and this kind of business. Like it's no single person can do it on their own. And if you're trying, like, please get help. Like we're local. We want to keep each other local. If you want help trying to figure out how to get your producer's license, we will help you with that. We have a lot of retail out now, but we need more producers. We need more growers. And hydroponic side will help you on that side, and then the other side will help you getting your license too. We're here to help.
Yeah, definitely. And I've talked about this before. The black market's kind of starting to dwindle down here because the prices are starting to kind of match or become cheaper than that. So you're gonna have to become friends with a lot of producers in the area. You have no choice. Are you gonna go out of business?
That's the matter.
That's the way it goes. But yeah, definitely. That is something that I'm glad you're doing, because reaching out and working as a community is something that this industry has been lacking, and I'm glad that you guys are reaching out, and being a leader.
Being
a leader, starting out and saying, we are going to reach out and say, hey, if you need help, we are going to help you. We'll help you with the information you need. Because a lot of people are confused.
Yes, it's a confusing time. It's a brand new system. It's a brand new thing for us. So there's not a lot of people you can go to get help with BioTrack or with just applying for the licensing. It's all fresh for the people who are giving you your license. They don't know exactly what's happening too sometimes. So it's good to kind of work together, and we wouldn't be here without other people. I mean, like Headspace helped us get our full market, or I want to say our full lineup together, because we don't have our own hash infused pre-rolls yet, things like that. So we're trying to have everything for everyone. And then the kitchen, bless them. Chris Baca is an amazing person, and their edibles are amazing too. So not trying to compete, I'll have both of them and ours. They have their gummies and their chocolates, and we have our chocolates and our hard candies and our truffles. But yeah, like I said, we're a community, and I'm not going to try to corner a market. I want to have everyone's stuff in our place if we can. So that way we all have an option and a chance to grow together, because that's the only way we're going to work it. Against the competitive side.
Because cannabis is one of the only industries where you go in and it's like your own product solely. You don't go to a mom and pop restaurant and they're selling their own soda. They're selling Pepsi, Coke, or a product like that. So there's nothing wrong with selling other products inside of your store. So that's great that you guys are so welcoming like that too, to invite more products in, not just your own line. And speaking of other products, so what other products do you have other than cannabis? I noticed when I was in, you guys had some pipes and some other stuff like that. And some smoking products. Just in case someone maybe it's the first time or maybe they forgot.
All right. Yeah. Thank you actually for bringing that up. Well, we have one of our investors is actually a Flip. He does glass himself.
Okay.
So we have an in-house glass blower too, and he makes the pipes and the bongs and the recyclers for us. And then we also have Terry that we're partnering with. He has some great, unique artwork. He does a lot with faces and eyes. So we have some pipes that showcase from him, and so we do have a little wide range of things.
Nice. So you guys have more of the collector kind of glass too.
Oh yeah, because it's all handcrafted. We don't nothing. I want to say made from China, and own China glass. Nothing easy to break or pre-manufactured where it's all cookie cutter. Everything's hand blown.
Nice.
From us. So.
Yeah, and that's kind of a craft that some people probably feel is losing or becoming less known. It's just faster to do it in a manufacturing way, but it's sometimes not the best quality.
Exactly,
you got all those bubbles and stuff in it.
That's how it goes. Yeah. So we have since we have our own grower, it's like it's just good to know that we can provide a little bit for everybody on that aspect. Like we can get some, cheap glass if you guys would like. We'll fill the market, but for the more pricey stuff, the heady stuff, we do also have our in-house glass blower who can give you something unique.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And especially with the rosin you guys got coming out, you want some heavy stuff, right?
Yes. I can't wait for our rosin, to be honest. Like, I can't wait to show you guys.
Nice. So, I mean, last question for you guys before we move on to the rest of the topics. So, what are the plans for Dr. Green after this retail? Do you guys plan on maybe doing a consumption lounge, maybe some more retails? What's going on?
Oh, I mean,
maybe a little Dubai.
I don't know if we're gonna do a little Dubai. I like to keep it in town. I want if we can't work Las Cruces and make that our home. I don't want to move to El Paso instead. I want to like make this our home first because we're here for you guys. For like I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you guys if you know me. So why wouldn't I pay it forward? So.
Right, exactly.
But yeah, things that we are in the works, not necessarily solid, but we have been talking about trying to do like a little bed and breakfast thing. And then also we want to have a consumption lounge, but we might want to just, small scale it, maybe have like a bus that you can sign away around, things like that. But yeah, we are trying to grow, but first we got to build up our customer base. So that's why I'm here and, getting that exposure.
Yeah, nice. Well, I mean, thank you for being here and welcome to the competitive market. I wish you guys nothing but the best of luck.
Thank you, man. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. Anyway, guys, we're gonna go on to the rest of the episode. I mean, by all means, keep looking at the product if you like. It's going to be there for the rest of the episode. But we're going to be talking about the rest of the topics. I can't go another episode lately without talking about the bubble, but the bubble has claimed its victims already in Albuquerque. So it looks like Albuquerque businesses are already up for sale. Some of them already up for $11 million, all the way down to a few $100,000, and some are probably even going for more. I just don't know about them, and it's not what's being reported. They go anywhere from just a retail spot all the way up to a vertically integrated cannabis establishment. What's your kind of feels on that? Especially just coming into the market now. It's such a crazy marketplace. What are your thoughts on that? Especially going on in Albuquerque. It's like the biggest market that we have in the state.
Ooh, I mean, yeah, it's kind of scary because we actually do have some product from Albuquerque, Mountaintop Extracts. We have their rosin. Oh no, their caviar, and then we have their disposable carts, half gram for $23. I mean, again, can't beat the pricing. I won't beat the dead horse, but we also have some of their edibles and their topicals too. Their Wonder Bear works great for bruises and aching joints. But yeah, it's scary, that topic, because big money is big money. Like, we started just from us, and we put up our houses on the line. I put up like all my savings on the line. So it's like we got so lucky that it's all of us that came together to make this work in the end, because we thought it was going to happen just from going through the construction and trying to get the retail site open to begin with. That almost sank us. Yeah. And we have so much like product. It's crazy. Yeah. So I can only imagine, like, people with money coming in from outside and buying us out and things like that. Like, that's never going to happen with us specifically, but in Albuquerque, it's already happening. Everybody has a dollar limit, and we want to kind of keep the money local. Like, I don't want it to be bought out from someplace in Oregon or in Washington or Cali, and then the money gets shipped out of here. We need to keep the money local.
No, definitely. And I already spoke about this, with the black market, or some people are calling it traditional market or the legacy market. But here in New Mexico, the legacy producers are from the medical side, so that term's a little confusing for us here in the state. Anyway, I've heard it used nationwide, and I'm just like, guys, that's a little confusing for me, because we call our legacy producers the people that were on the medical side. But for slang, we call them the dirty 30. So yeah, that's really interesting to hear that, because we do want to keep it local, and with us having that issue of an illegal market still, and people buying from it, trying to pass it off as New Mexico, using a loophole that's inside of our tracking system. They're not being very local, and they're not supporting local. Because they're coming from Oklahoma, California, Colorado. Because as we know, Colorado's had a second bubble, and we'll probably see that too once Texas goes legal here in New Mexico. But Colorado's having issues too. Their sales are plummeting, and it's most likely due to us, going legal here in New Mexico, because a lot of their business not only came from New Mexico but Texas, because Texans would drive up to Colorado. They would make that further drive to go up there and get cannabis and go back. Now they just stop here. It's a lot quicker, and then they go back. So we not only stopped going to Colorado and giving them business for the most part, we took Texas away from them, and that was probably a huge chunk. And now they're starting to feel it. So there's another bubble going on at the same time we're having here in New Mexico. And it looks like Colorado is going to have another stabilizing point in the market to try to figure out what they're going to do. I think there's going to have to be some legislative changes within their market to kind of make it more stable again. But only time will really tell on that market. I mean, what are your thoughts?
I don't know. It's a tough one there because they've been open for so long, and to see that happen with just us opening up has such a major change. Like I'm not sure. Like I feel like it really matters with the price point for the areas. Like if the dispensaries can't match the price for the black market, then they can't. And that's kind of an issue that we're facing here. It's like we don't have enough growers, so we can't fulfill all the needs of all the customers that we have here. So now we're seeing that happen, and I won't say who or who's not doing that, but I mean, there's just not enough producers for the amount. I mean, how many do we have licensing in the state of Las Cruces? Like 100 dispensary licenses alone?
Like some crazy number.
That's just Las Cruces. Like, so
through the state, we're probably over 1,000 now.
I can't even imagine. So like it's one of those things where like we need more producers, which is what I was saying earlier. We will help you get your producers if that's what you want, because we need that here desperately. And as soon as we have that, then we can work on our own prices and have that kind of shield from other, I want to say, competition or companies. I'm doing it here by putting our prices so low. You'll never find prices this low at other dispensaries just because I have my own grower. We can do that because we're local. It's unfortunate that we have to do that, but I mean, one way or another, we got to keep the money local, and I'm going to do what I can to support the community. So.
Yeah, no, that's great that you guys are doing that, because in the end, bad actors, they'll go out. Some will stick around, but in the end, like I said, there's going to be two bubbles. We're going to see the same one that Colorado's seeing right now. So if you want to know what the future's like here in New Mexico, keep an eye on Colorado right now. And because that ripple is just going to be felt here even further once Texas actually goes legal. We probably have a good 5-6 years before something big happens in Texas. I wouldn't say they go legal before something big happens and it changes, and it might change our market. We won't have as long a time as Colorado did, over a decade, with the money that they got from us. But we'll have a little bit of a chunk of change from Texas for that time being. So with that being said, we're going to have to not just think about the bubble we have now with how many retails we have, how many are there going to be by this time next year, which there's going to be significantly less. But also when Texas changes their laws, we also need to do something about that too, to keep that money either here or for us to either kind of look at and see where we're at with our industry to see what needs to change legislatively. Legislatively, things need to change all the time, but that is probably going to be a very, very big turning point in our market and our program. And I kind of feel that we need to watch what Colorado is going to do. I wouldn't say we need to do what they do, but we need to either not do what they do, or we need to take something from that playbook.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like watch and learn, but not necessarily follow.
Exactly, because in New Mexico, a lot of people don't know this. A lot of things that work in other places don't work here. We're its own animal. We're totally different, and I tell people that all the time. Take what you think, what you know about that state, and do not apply it here, because this is something totally different. We operate different. It's very cliquey here, and if you're not local, people usually don't like you. And it's for good reasons. We have a lot of history with people from outside. There's a lot of bad history with that. So I mean, you can't blame us, but at the same time, it is what it is. And that's the way New Mexico is. And will it change one day? Yeah, everything changes through time. But that's the way things are right now in our market. And I hope things change for the better, and people start working with each other more. That's really what I hope is unity.
Like use us. Like I want to make sure that we can start fostering that more. I mean, I already have some of Matchbox's stuff in my store. I haven't told them that yet, but but I'm like, like we're trying to always be there for the community. Like a lot of our founders love Matchbox community or that group. So like why not help each other instead of hurt? Because there is enough to go around. Like that's don't feel like there's enough to go around. That's why the prices are so exorbitant in certain stores. It's because there's enough to go around. They can do that. But in the end, we're in a recession. Not everyone has money. And yes, while people want the best stuff and are willing to pay for the best stuff, I'm trying to hit every demographic. Like I want everyone to feel comfortable coming to my store. And same thing for every other retail. I want them comfortable speaking to us, and we can work something out, to make sure that everybody gets some kind of exposure. Because, it's like you said, we don't like outsiders, and and it's fair. But I do want to make sure that we can at least keep our insiders friendly between each other, because we also love to compete with each other. This place is me versus you, and I don't see how we can win that way. So
Yeah, yeah. There's a point where we work together, but we're also competitors at the same time. Even Apple and Microsoft work together sometimes on projects. Steve Jobs and Bill Gates, we're known to be friends. Bill Gates helped Steve Jobs many a times on projects. They flew out there and helped them. So the competitor side and the friendship side, they're two different things, but you can still do both.
Yeah,
you can still do both.
Two sides of the same coin.
Yeah, and if it comes to the competitive side and one wins and the other doesn't, then regroup and try to figure it out or move on to something else. It's just that's the way it is. But yeah, let's keep on with the bubble. I mean, this whole conversation is about the bubble, and it's about having the mindset too. But what's happening in Albuquerque is just it's almost like a tsunami. When a tsunami hits, it's mostly through earthquakes or other tectonic movements. It triggers in the ocean almost like a domino effect. So it creates one big shock wave, and then it creates this wave. And then throughout the time of it being in the ocean, it's really unnoticeable. It looks really calm because it's under the water. And then once it starts breaking land is when it really starts to notice. And that's when you get that big rush. And it's not even a wave. It's just like a rush of water. I was in Hawaii when we had the tsunami. Actually, I think the anniversary for the tsunami or for the earthquake in Japan was recently. I was actually in Hawaii at that time. I was stationed there, and we had the tsunami warning. And that's how I learned all about this, because I was from New Mexico. We don't deal with tsunamis. And so I learned a lot about tsunamis, that time. And so this is kind of what's happening. Albuquerque, we're seeing this big closure happen, this big reset. These people are getting sold, these businesses. And I'm guessing some of them are MSOs, because that's some of them are probably sitting on the sidelines waiting for it because it's going to be cheap. And so they were waiting on the sidelines. And so boom, we have this here. Now, this ripple probably isn't going to be felt for a little bit, and it's traveling on its way down, and usually hits Las Cruces second because we're the second largest city in the state. So whatever happens in Albuquerque normally mirrors us, but it happens a little slower. So we're going to see this, and it's probably already happening here in Cruces. We're probably just not being reported as much, but I'm pretty sure a few places are probably up for sale already, if not already sold. And so we're probably going to start seeing that. Albuquerque, it's on a larger scale, and so that's why this is being reported this way. Like I said, most of them are probably going to be MSOs from out of state. They were just sitting there waiting on the sidelines. These guys, they have more than enough money to either open up an estate and wait out the first wave, second wave, or just come in on the second wave and, ride it out from there and do good or whatever, sell their Walmart wheat. So it's going to get crazy. It's going to get ruthless. And I just wish everybody the best. You know what I mean? I wish everybody the best. And I just hope that it doesn't get too crazy out there. So hang on to your butts.
I mean, it's been rough for us from the start, just getting open. So we're used to the crazy already. And finally, we're here, So it just takes once. If you come out and check us out once, I promise you won't regret it. And it'll be worth the time.
Nice. Yeah. Well, just talking about something else, we'll go on to the next topic. This one's actually, I'm going to be quick about this one. If a lot of you don't know, Bright Green here in New Mexico, they have a federal license to grow cannabis, and actually they're allowed to distribute it too. And so they're pretty much legally through the federal government allowed to grow, sell, and do whatever they want with cannabis in the state. And they have like 500,000 plants or a plant count or something ridiculous. They're actually on trading. So they just got a $3 million share. Someone bought $3 million worth of shares on the stock. And I'll tell everybody what the stock number is. If you guys want to, are investors, you don't care, whatever. If you want to make money, I'll tell you guys all the information. Capitalist, society, I get it. I'm trying to be neutral here with you guys. So it looks like at 95 cents a share, it came at like 3.6 million shares or something like that. So it's under $1 the shares right now, and it looks like after taxes and all the fees was like 3.5 million. So that's about what it is. So it's trading on the NASDAQ and the BGXX, or as BGXX is its little tag, and it was officially added into the United States market, which is crazy because there's really no other cannabis businesses allowed to do that. So it's really odd to just see a cannabis business, because most of them that are on the stock market are on the Canadian market.
Yeah,
because it's federally legal. Yeah, and so that's how I think it's Umbrella. I think that's how they're under there and all that. The DEA listed them as a federally licensed cannabis cultivator earlier this month. So it's like super official, and they already have a huge, massive facility. And the reason why that they're on the stock market in the first place is to raise $500 million to expand their manufacturing and their production. So yeah, I think they're trying to hit their number mark of how many plants they're going to grow. So look out. I think that's over in Grants. Have you heard about the Bright Green Corporation and all
I
that?
have
No.
not.
Yeah. So yeah, they came in just around the time we were legalizing and we're trying to get things going. They won that contract, and it's been a little interesting because before that, I think the only one was the University of Mississippi. They're the only ones that had the contract, and now the federal government opened it to more. And here in New Mexico, we have that one. I didn't realize how many plants they had, and that is like ridiculous.
Yeah, that's a large number, and it's. I mean, I can't imagine trying to grow that much. Like with our 200 plant count, just from space wise alone, it's a logistical nightmare. Like if you're actually trying to grow quality bud, you have to go in and trim every day. You have to watch your plants and become the plant. Like know what it needs and what it doesn't need. And at 200, just getting that done it's we spend a lot of time trimming. Like that's most of my day. I just spend in the back taking off the
trim drill.
Yeah,
it's called trim drill for a reason.
I can't imagine with a plant count. How much was it? 500,000 plants?
Yeah, I think they have like 500,000 plants or something ridiculous.
So
yeah, like some ridiculous amount of plants.
They're going to be using machines to trim them.
Yeah,
like hands down.
Yeah.
So it's if you want the Walmart weed, you can have it. It's there. But if you want the love and the terpenes.
Yeah, exactly. Like me, like I'm the terp guy. Yeah, I'm walking in. I'm saying what tastes good. I don't care.
Exactly. That's how I feel.
Yeah. I was like, put my fingers over the numbers. What tastes good? So I'm that guy. I'm pretty simple. I just like the flavor. But anyway, but yeah, I just wanted to touch base on that. Some of you probably follow Bright Green or know about Bright Green, but that is something huge. If you're an investor and you want to invest in it, that's your information right there. Go ahead and do it. Whatever, that's your choice. If not, then don't. But yeah, that's what's going on here in the state. My only worry is with 500,000 plants, where's all that dang water going to come from?
Oh, that part I didn't even think.
That's
about
a lot of water they're going to be trying to go for.
Yeah,
and they're trying to expand. With $500 million, that's a big expansion. It's a huge expansion. Yeah, it's massive. That's $500 million.
Yeah.
So yeah, just keep on lookout for that, guys. If you happen to be in the Grants area and you work here or something, reach out to me. I want to hear some more about what's going on here. I just want a little bit more information on that. So yeah, let me know, hit me up. Anyway, next topic that we're going to be talking about, because that's pretty much all we got for the Bright Green, is testing here in New Mexico. So as you guys know, here in New Mexico, it's a requirement to test. However, our history with testing, historically, it kind of sucks in the state because we haven't had that many testing facilities historically to start out with. On the medical side, we had a total of 3 at one time, and then we went down to 2. And then we had one here in Las Cruces, and then went up to Albuquerque, and then we were left with none down here once legalization came around. So now we're at a point where we have a total of 5, and those 5 are, which is great. Like we need more. Don't get me wrong, but we need way more than 5. We have way more producers in the South, I believe, than we do in the North part of the state. So I kind of feel that the need for, and I get it, guys, it's not Albuquerque, so you don't want to come down here, but the need is down here. If it's a business that you really want to do, come down to Southern New Mexico. You open up in Las Cruces. Even then, we have a lot of producers in the area. Especially with the Hatch Valley, even the Las Cruces farming area, down over even near Vado and all there, down to Anthony. We need testing facilities. What's your real experience in trying to get testing done with you guys? Because you have your own production. Has it been a nightmare too? Since there's really not much here. Or?
It's more like a time nightmare because there's so many people trying to get things tested. Usually they're like a week or 2 weeks out to get you your product tested.
Yeah.
But we go to Albuquerque. We go to Oregon Labs and have our stuff tested there.
Yeah.
So it's like enough said, we're going to Albuquerque, but at the same time we are getting our stuff tested in a timely manner. We got to just make sure be a couple weeks ahead just to be safe.
Yeah.
But yeah, we do need more, and we need I want to say better training in testing. So I know that a couple of new ones have a new machine that comes out, but you kind of need to know how to use that machine instead of just, getting the test out quickly. Because I feel like sometimes the test, or when I've taken it to 2 different locations, it's been, different results from the 2. And
so what are the variances between the 2 and the numbers? What did you notice? Is it like?
Well, one, it was like the pesticide count between one and the other. And then it was the fungal, no, not fungal. Yeah, it was the fungal count between one and the other. One was passing in minuscule, and the other one was it was over. But the way that the second one that it was over is they tested without washing the material first. So getting it from us to them, if it was in the air, open air at some point in time, even if it's like a dead fungal matter, if it touched the plant, or the sample is contaminated enough for it to show up in the machine,
Yeah.
even though like it should be washed first, so that way if it's dead and not alive or it didn't live at any point in time on the machine on the plant, it shouldn't count.
Yeah.
So that's like one of those things where we're running into an issue where like we're getting these new testing facilities, but they're not following the proper protocol to get the test properly done.
Yeah.
So it's like you gotta know what you're doing. You gotta know who you're working with,
And you know, all these places, they have different equipment. You know, someone might have older equipment, someone might have more leading equipment that's going to be more accurate. Because you know, historically through the industry, we had a variance of anywhere from 15 to 20%.
yeah,
You know, of variance, and that's huge. You
yeah,
know, that is
like,
massive.
yeah.
You know, that could change things, you know, exponentially when it comes to, you know, safety and health. You know, like something that it was deemed safe is now not safe because the test wasn't done right or the machine wasn't calibrated or it just wasn't accurate. Now
Exactly.
we have more innovation with legalization and we're getting more accurate. However, you know, we're just waiting for these other businesses to kind of catch up and be on par. And that's one thing that I've been trying to talk about with testing for a long time. And, you know, I worry about testing because it's so important. And the reason why I worry about it is because once federal legalization comes, which is a lot sooner than we think, we're going to have to federally test our cannabis. So now we need to practice testing our cannabis so that way once federal legalization comes, we're not worried about it. We're not running around like, oh my gosh, I can't do this. No, I didn't know I can't do this.
Yeah.
Well, you know, we should have been prepared. You know, we knew this day was coming. And so testing is one of those things. And if we can get that squared away and if we can figure that out and show everybody that we can actually test accurately, we can, you know, remedy in a certain way, or we can just ensure that what we're putting on the shelves is safe, then we'll probably have an easier time decriminalizing cannabis on a federal level. You know,
Yeah.
and I said legalize, but I really meant decriminalize and removing from, you know, the scheduling altogether, because that's really what you want. If it moves down in scheduling, it gets a little weird, and then pharma gets involved, and you know, then mom and pops kind of go out of business in general. So,
Yeah.
I just wanted to clarify. I was talking about that. So, what is your maybe idea, or maybe do you have any ideas of what should be done for testing, or do we just need more testing?
No, you're right. We just need more testing. Like more testing, maybe more. It's like training of the testing too. So like if you, because some of the testing problems or the issues that we're having with testing were with the newer ones, like the newer machines, because they're so precise. You have to be like, you have to know what you're doing with the machine, because you can find, you know, like viruses, fungal, like insect debris or whatever in the air. Like it's, you know,
it's floating around
breathing.
everywhere. Yeah.
So we're doing masks and stuff, doing our best to keep the testing proper. But like now we're just getting hit for pesticides that we made sure that were like not present by the time we got to flowering, or not present in any of our accounts. Like we're following the proper protocol to get the bud to be indoor clean quality, and yet we're getting hit with like a minor, like a fungal, like a failing for a fungicide or something like that. And then it's like, how like we've been doing this for so long, how is this fungicide showing up now and present in this amount when we stopped more than enough like washing or cleaning of the material to make sure it's clean? And I don't know, man, it's just it's frustrating to see that happen sometimes, because I'm like, it's the bud's quality, it's passed at these other two locations, and then we go to the third and then it's not, and they're like, why are these numbers so much higher here than there? And it's probably just because they didn't like properly handle it while they were getting it there.
Yeah. And you know, I don't want to stop you there, but you know, you said you got it tested at 3 different places.
Yeah.
And you know, that's a lot of people wouldn't do that.
Yeah, well, you gotta know who you're working with.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's one of those things where we're trying to get closer. We don't have to go all the way to Albuquerque.
Yeah,
but,
exactly.
You know, but that's what we ended up having to do, because like their testing results are more, I don't want to say if it's more accurate because they're using more machines, but their results are more steady. Like you're seeing a less margin of difference from their testing results than from the other two. Like it's one of those things. Like the other one passed, but it still showed like a higher percentage than the first one. I'm just like, and then it gets a third and it's even higher. I'm like, why is it going up? Like, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make any sense. So
I kind of feel we also need some kind of regulation where we have something on the playing field that's more level, because we don't even have regulations on what kind of equipment to use, you know, because I mean, there is, but isn't. You know, like the equipment that we use, you know, isn't really, it's out of date, you know, and no one's really forced to have more up-to-date scientific, you know, stuff. And I get it, it's expensive, don't get me wrong, you know, don't get me wrong, it's really expensive, but at the same time, you know, this is people's health we're talking about.
Exactly.
and so that's one of those things. It's like, well, this is people's health. Like, I get it, it's expensive, but this is the kind of industry that we're in.
Yeah.
Things change, technology advances, and that's just one of those business costs, that has to go in it. And if you're really passionate about getting people a clean product, you'd be passionate about having clean tests.
Exactly.
So, but anyway, guys, that's what I want to talk about, with the testing and the cannabis and all that. And that's pretty much all I have for this week. However, I do have one announcement. I got a bonus thing for y'all, and I'll let you, if you have any announcements, and I'll let you do the sign out actually. So # Grassy is going on its own little platform. So we're going to be on Apple, Google, Spotify, iHeart, and YouTube on its own #Grassy name. It will no longer be under the Mesilla Valley. I think we'll still put it on there, but you can find it under #Grassy on its own podcast channel, on its own YouTube channel. And so from here on out, we're going to be putting it on there. We're going to slowly start getting the other older episodes on there, so you can still catch that on the Mesilla Valley news side. But the newer episodes from here on out are going to be on the new one. I'll get the links and everything out for you guys probably today. So look out for that #Grassy on its own little thing. So that's all I got. And go ahead and take us out, man.
Well, first off, congratulations.
Thank you.
And that's great. One last thing, we're actually only accepting cash right now. We didn't want to go through the card thing. It's kind of pseudo legal, so we're not legal. So we're just gonna let that go.
Get it.
And yeah, and we're getting an ATM this weekend. So
Nice.
you guys will be good to go, and we can help anyone out, whoever wants to show up. So,
yeah.
And once again, Dr. Green Organics and 5555 South Main. Make sure it's 5555, not 555. We got a lot of people go to 555 South Main and they end up downtown. We're a little further out down Main. So yeah, check us out and I'll be there. So,
nice. Yeah. Well, look out for him and everything. And I'll probably be stopping by again and grab some more of that high terpene cannabis.
Yes.
So, but anyway, guys, I'll also be here again next week. And look out for Dr. Green Organics, guys. And look out for the new channel. All right, guys. Shoots.
Later.